Today we're going to do a tag video. Hi, my name is Jeanette and I want to thank you for joining me on the channel Jane Reads. So today I'm going to do a tag video. I was tagged to do a tag. How many times can I say tag? So I was tagged to do a tag by Chrissy at Chrissy's Purple Library. But the video that she tagged me in is a K-tropathon, I think is what it was called. And when she went through the questions and stuff, I'm like, I have no idea what any of that is. I do not read graphic novels. I don't eat Korean food. I know nothing about, well, I know very little about Korea and their cultures and their food and stuff. And I was like, some of those questions I had no answers for. So I thought instead I would do the unicorn book tag that was created by Chrissy. So kind of tying the two together, okay? So I've written out all the questions. I have some books kind of around me to show you, and let's just get right into it. I will tag Chrissy's video in the description below so you can go and watch her video as well. So, question number 1. It's grimy dark out there. The darkest book you've ever read with an unsettling plot, characters, setting, or theme. Immediately, I thought of True Light by Terry Blackstock. Now, this is book 3 of the Restoration series. This, I would say, is probably the darkest of the series. I haven't completed this. This is the most recent book I read. I still have one more. So there's 4 books in this series. And basically, it's kind of dark for a couple reasons. Dark because all the power has gone out in the country, in the world. And so they are living in the dark with no electricity, no nothing. And with that, especially, I mean, you saw it in book 1 and 2, but especially in this book, the dark side of people are coming out. And this one focuses on a group of characters in prison and kind of plotting about how to get out of prison, and guards get killed, and it's just the evil side of people. And then you have the one character that's kind of the light and have to choose to be the light and not go with the darkness and risk their lives to kind of stand up for what is right. So it is dark in a few different ways. A little unsettling on what people come up with and what's happening in the community and stuff. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this series so far. And this wasn't not my favorite of it because of kind of the really dark mindset of people. But I really want to know what happens with these characters. And is the power going to come back on? So yeah. Okay, question number 2 is, when a hero comes along, your favorite hero and or heroine in a book. Well, let's go with the hero first. I immediately thought of Zach from More Than Words Can Say by Karen Whitmire. This is a marriage convenience story. Abigail has been told that she is not allowed to own her business by the town council, has to have a man's name on the deed. And so after kind of going through different scenarios and options available to her, she approaches Zach and asks if he will marry her to put his name on the deed, but that will be it. They're friends. He won't be responsible for the business or anything like that. Zach agrees, but then discovers that Abigail and her sister need some protection, and he stands up for them. And just like, he has no desire to be tied down to anybody, so he's hesitant to agree. But then he does agree, and I loved him, and just watching him kind of grow and the way he cared for Abigail. Such a sweet story. Okay, and then for the heroine, Possibly Penelope by Pepper Basham. I love Penelope. I just love her. So this is book 2 of the Skymar series, and book 1 is Authentically Izzy, And Izzy is the cousin to Penelope. And Penelope has traveled overseas to be a marketing intern at a theater, I think is kind of her official role. But as the title says, she is determined to be positive about everything. And just the way she approaches life and her mindset about even when things don't go the way she's hoping, she tries to be positive about it. And I really enjoyed that. And Penelope also loves theater, loves musicals, loves Julie Andrews. So I just really related to her. So, yeah. Okay, then, question number 3. Who is your best friend? Favorite animal companion read in a book? I don't know the horses' names off the top of the head, but I love horses. And so anytime horses are mentioned in a book as kind of they're part of, especially for these characters. So this is The Heart's Charge by Karen Whitmire. This is book 2 of the Hangers Horsemen series. And for these 2 male characters who are the horsemen, their horses are their companions. They go everywhere with them, they help them, and just, yeah, I love it when horses are in. I am not a dog or a cat person, so they don't do anything for me in a book. But a horse on a farm setting, ranch setting, yeah. Okay, as I said, this is book 2, and we are following 2 males that we did meet in book 1 from the Hangers Horsemen group. And they connect with these 2 females that are running a fondling home for children. And in addition to kind of like the challenges that are happening, the reason that the men came to town to begin with is kind of a side story for me, because there's also 2 romances we're following, and I loved that. This was just such a fun story, and from the beginning I was just hooked on what was going to happen. Okay, then question number 4 is There's My Unicorn, a book with a magical creature or cute animal on the cover. Can I use the same book 2 answers in a row? Actually, looking at my books, this is the only book I own that has horses on the cover. I have a couple on my Kindle, but this is the only one physically. I do have a couple with the dogs, or 1 or 2 dogs, but as I said, they're not my animal. So yeah, horses. I think that's another, I wanted this book mainly because of that, knowing it was written by Karen Whitmire, and is my favorite of the series. Okay, number 5, What is Love? A book with an intriguing romance, friendship, or family dynamic. Okay, so I went with the family aspect. We're going back to an old series that just holds a place in my heart. So we've got the O'Malley Chronicles by D. Henderson. So these are bind-up editions of the first 3 books. Nope, that's volume 2. The first 3 books, the next 3 books. So 1 to 3 and 4 to 6. And in this one, we are following a group of 7 children, well, they're adults by the time we meet them, who met in an orphanage and formed their own family. And so they legally changed their last name to O'Malley. So that's why it's called the O'Malley series. And each character has a job in some sort of protection type, police officer, firefighter, paramedic, doctor, hostage negotiator, FBI agent, I want to say. My mind is... Okay, that's an FBI... No. She's the hostage. Oh, U.S. Marshal. That's the other thing. And basically it is a suspense series, or a romantic suspense series, because each character finds romance in each book. But because it's a family, the characters carry over throughout each book. And they are just always, they're heavy. I gotta put them down. So they are just always there for each other. Even if they're not in, a lot of the times, they're not in the same city. But they can call them up and the sibling will come and help them. Or make sure one of the other siblings is there for them. Like, it's just, I love the family dynamic. The other series that I thought of was The Christensen Family by Susan May Warren. Same thing, 6 siblings. These are birth siblings though, and the parents are in it. And they're just the sibling group, and the way the siblings fight, but then they make up and they're there to support one another. I love seeing that family aspect in books. Okay, number 6, Chill, I'm Still Reading. The longest book series you have completed. Okay, so the one that I thought of immediately is the Psalm 23 series by Debbie Vigay. There are currently 19 books out in that series, so it's supposed to be 23 at some point, but it's currently 19, and I have read all 19 books. So I'm as completed as I can be because the next books aren't out. This is a mystery series that you really have to read in order because things are revealed, and then each book ends on a cliffhanger and you get more of the story. And so we are following a church secretary, Cindy, who book number 1, she discovers a dead body in the sanctuary of the church she works at and yells for help. The rabbi from the synagogue next door hears her, comes over and helps, and his name is Jeremiah. And then really we're following these 2 main characters as they kind of get to know one another. And so we've got the Jewish background and the Christian background. And then as the series progresses, there are more characters introduced. We have a police officer who becomes a regular in the series. More mysteries happen, and I love it. But it's been on pause for a few years now, and I'm patiently waiting for book number 20 or 23, really. But yeah, but that is the longest series I've read. The other series that I have fully completed, I think I'm fully completed unless she releases more books, there's 2 series by Shanna Hatfield. There is the Hardman Holiday series, which book number 1 is The Christmas Bargain, which is one of my favorite books. I've read that book 4 times. But currently there are 10 books out in that series, and I've read all 10. The other one is she has Pendleton Petticoats. Book number 1 is Andy, and I've read that one. I've read up to book number 10. I feel like there might be a book number 11 that I haven't read, but not 100% sure on that. And then they're all clean. So I was going to say in the Christian fiction genre, but more current authors that I've read is the Hope Harbor series. I'm not quite complete. There are currently 10 books out in that series. I have read up to book number 9. I have 1 book left. But then, I've read a lot of series, and O'Malley's has 7 books in it. The Christensen Family series that I mentioned earlier has 7 books in it. I've read all those. So I love long series that especially carry over characters and you're following the same characters throughout. Those are my favorite. And Shannon Hatfield's series do that as well. So we meet Luke and Philly in The Christmas Bargain, and then we meet some of their friends and we get to know them, and then we follow a friend's story in the next book and another friend that we've already met. So then the other characters that we've met in book 1 or book 2 as you go through the series make appearances or are very active because they're friends. And then Pendleton Petticoats is the same way. Did I say that name right? I think so. Andy, I haven't read this one as much, so I can't think of what his name is. But then again, you get the couple, and then you meet some friends, some community members, some other family members, and then you move on to the next person that's going to be like the kind of primary main character of book number 2. But yet Andy and the character we met in book number 1 have a primary role. I love series for that. Yep. Okay. So where am I? Question number 7. Color Mixup, a book that is genre bending. Okay. So I'm thinking kind of it covers multiple genres. I'm thinking. So I mean, like, there's romantic suspense. So you have romance. Is usually contemporary, not always, usually contemporary, and you have suspense happening. Okay, but then I thought, wow, along that same line, The Gold Digger by Liz Tolsma. So this is a historical fiction with romance, with suspense, mystery, and just, it's kind of it all. And for me, when I think suspense, I usually think contemporary. Very rare do I think historical. So that's why I'm going with this one. We are following Ingrid and Belle, who are sisters. And the guy, Niels, comes to town looking for his brother, whose last known location is Belle's farm. And so Ingrid and Niels meet and kind of form a friendship. And then there's the mystery of what happened to the brother and what's going on. And yeah, I love this one. So you've got the historical element. You've got the start of automobiles, but also the horse and buggy. Then you've got a romance happening. You've got definitely a mystery going on. Yeah, it kind of encompassed a lot. Okay, then question number 8. Bet you didn't see that coming. A book with a surprising plot twist or red herring. Okay, I immediately thought of Secondary Target by Angela Carlisle. Now, thinking about this could have been, I could really switch something. Ooh, but I can't talk about that. Okay, I can't talk about it. Well, I'm going to, because I just thought of another. Okay, so the first one I said was Secondary Target by Angela Carlisle, which I do not own a physical copy of. But when the villain was revealed in this one, I was like, wait, what? What? And so that was the one I immediately thought of. And even the main character that's being attacked, living through and trying to figure out why is this happening to her, when she found out who it was, even she was like, no, wait, what? So yeah, that's the one I thought of. Okay, but the other one I just thought of is Under Fire by Lynn H. Blackburn. The twist at the end of this one, again, with who the villain is, did not see coming whatsoever. And I feel like there was no hints that you could guess it. It kind of came out of left field. Well, I want to say left field, but maybe not, because you knew, you get told the perspective from the fixer at one, there is their point of view shared for a couple parts, but there's no clue to who that fixer is. And then when it was revealed, it was like, what? How? I would have never guessed that. Didn't even know this person existed. So, yeah. Yeah. That's definitely the one for this one. Okay. Okay, then number 9. Do You Know My Name? A book with a misunderstood character. Okay, I'm going to go with Windswept Way by Irene Hannon. This is book number 9 in the Hope Harbor series. But Hope Harbor is a series that you do not need to read in order. Some of the characters do carry over, especially Charlie, the taco truck owner. But the storylines are each separate. There is not a carrying over storyline throughout them. And in this one, we've got a recluse living in a mansion that everybody's kind of like wants to see in the mansion, wants to know. And then we also have another recluse who is the next door neighbor to the person in the mansion, but they are hiding for keeping distance from the community members for a different reason. And so like both of them are misunderstood by the community members for like what's going on, what keeps them away. Yeah, I really enjoyed this story, and kind of just the watching the characters come out and kind of open themselves up to the others around them. Okay, question number 10. That's Wild, a book with an unbelievable ending. The Gold Digger by Liz Tolsma. So I'm only saying this because when this book ended, I was like, wait, what? Like, I felt like we didn't know. Like, there was a bit of the mystery wrapped up, but then there's things left hanging. And when I read the author's note, it's because this is based on a true story. It's a fictionalized version of a true story. And in reading the author's note, discovered that with the true story, with the true crime that happened, they don't know exactly what happened. So she couldn't give answers to what happened because there are no answers. Like, it's still a cold case to the day. And I was like, so yeah. Okay. Number 11, Purple Everywhere, a book with a purple cover. Well, that was easy. Under Fire by Lynn H. Blackburn. This is book number 3 of the Defend and Protect series, so I'm not going to really tell you anything about it other than what I've already told you about it. But it is purple. And this was gifted to me by my best friend Christine, whose favorite color is purple. So yeah, which also happens to be Christy's favorite color, hence the reason for this question. And even the back is purple. Okay, so number 12. Show your true colors. The Lord made you beautiful. Show a stack of books with the unicorn colors: purple, green, blue, yellow, and pink. Okay, so I have my stack. Okay, so for purple, we've got Fatal Code by Natalie Walters. This is book number 2. Please have numbers on the side. Book number 2 of the Snap Agency series. I have not read this book yet, so all I really know is it's a romantic suspense, and it has been recommended to me. Okay, for green, we have River's Edge by Terry Blackstock. This is book number 3 of the Cape Refuge series. Okay, I can't hold them like that. Let's go like this. Okay, so there's your purple cover. There's my green cover. Very green, right? And as I said, this is book number 3. We're following characters that we met in book number 1, but it has its own mystery element going on. Is there romance? Is it just a suspense, or is there romance in it? I feel like, I'm trying to think now. It's been a little while since I read this one. There is a bit of romance, but it's really more the suspense, mystery of what's going on. Okay, then we've got blue. And how could I not pick this one? Across the Blue by Carrie Taransky. So this is historical fiction. It's a historical romance, really. We are following Isabella, who wants more than just to be a woman that gets married, more than be a wife and a mother. And she wants to be a journalist and follow in her father's footsteps. And she meets what's his name, James, who is attempting to fly a plane over the English Channel, which is the first time a plane would be flown over. But there's a competition going on to who's going to be the first one to fly the plane over. So she's following James, and then there's the other guy that's and a connection forms between them. And I really enjoyed this story. So, yeah. Okay, then for yellow, there's my yellow spine. Crossfire by Lynette Eason. This is book number 2 of her Extreme Measures series. We are following Juliana, who is an FBI agent, who meets Clay, who is a former sniper, but now he's a teacher? He's a resource officer at a school, so he's not a teacher. And a classroom gets hijacked? That's not the right word. Hostage. And hostage situation happens, and the two end up it's not even a classroom, is it? Oh yes, it is a classroom. And the two connect, and very, very suspense filled, and especially with the classroom under hostage, and how are these characters going to react to this, and how do they even connect? And yeah, I really enjoyed this book. Okay, then for pink, we have The Secrets of Paper and Ink by Lindsay Harrell. And this one is probably considered a women's fiction. And we are following Sophia. I was close. We are following Sophia, who has just got out of a relationship, a horrible relationship, has taken time off work. She comes back to work and decides, no, I can't do this. I need more time. So she ends up leaving the States and going over to England for a couple months, I think, if not more, I don't remember. And ends up working in a bookstore, makes friends with the bookstore owner, and then we find out kind of the troubles that the bookstore owner is dealing with, both personally and professionally. And then there is another character they meet, and I really enjoyed following the aspect of the friendship being developed, and there is a bit of mystery going on with a journal that they find. This was a 5-star read for me. I absolutely enjoyed it. Okay, so that is all the questions for this tag. I'm not going to tag anybody for it, but if you have a YouTube channel and you want to do this tag, go right ahead and do it. So I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video today, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.